Well, you know, at Israel's south, we have a terror state. The Gaza Strip is an independent Palestinian state that's a terror state. From the very day we handed over 100% of Gaza to the Palestinians, 10 days later, they began shooting missiles at us. At the end of the day, we're going to have to dismantle this terror state. Imagine you had a small Al-Qaeda state right next to the United States shooting missiles at you. You can't talk to them. You have to defeat terror. After we defeat terror, I would certainly engage in long-term peace talks, but there first has to be a step of dismantling this terror state that's right next to us.
Well, that doesn't sound very hopeful. I mean, you know, I have to say, many of the smart minds that we've spoken to have said that they believe that this ceasefire will hold. Of course, the big question is, will a broader peace agreement take hold? And so I ask you this, what is it going to take? Egypt was critical, as you know, in brokering this deal. Is Egypt going to have to remain a permanent mediator as talks continue?
Well, I think Egypt has an Islamic regime also, but obviously they were mediators here in this case. But we have to define the situation. We're not talking about a state that is looking for long-term peace. We're talking to a state that has decided deliberately to wipe us out. Now, yes, I'm not always the bearer of good news. I want peace more than anyone. I'm a major in reserves that will have to fight in a war if, God forbid, we have to fight it. But the United States was determined to wipe out Al-Qaeda and eliminate Osama bin Laden. This is the exact same situation. We're facing a terrorist organization, not a peaceful nation. We have to dismantle terror, and only then can we be able to talk to the Palestinians. I'm actually very optimistic about it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen in this round. It'll happen probably in the next round.
But Palestinians who spoke to our Wolf Blitzer, who is in the region right now, said they feel as though they're in a prison, that at the 24-hour mark when the border crossings into Gaza reopen, that they believe that's not a real reopening, that maybe it will just open just a sliver. I guess I'm curious to know, from your side, you have to give a little in order to get what some want, which is a two-state solution. So what is Israel willing to give?
I don't know why there's something to be given. I don't recall that on September 12th, the United States said we have to give something to Al-Qaeda to appease them. No, there's right and wrong. There's one side that's shooting missiles, over 1,200 missiles on Israel's cities, and without any provocation. Again, I'll be very clear. We gave 100% of the Gaza Strip to the Palestinians. All borders were open. They could have turned it into the Singapore of the Middle East. They chose to turn it into a Taliban-type state where there's no women's right, no gays' right, nothing. It's a dictatorship of the most radical nature. But worse than that, they decided to begin shooting missiles at us. Why do I have to give them something? The only thing I have to give them is eradicate terror from within. Once that happens, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but the good news of this week is the Israeli nation showed that it's got strong resiliency vis-a-vis this terror. We're willing to defend ourselves. So make no mistake, I know they're celebrating in Gaza, but they're making a big mistake. We've been here for thousands of years. We've seen Romans and Greek and British and Turks. Now we see Hamas. We're here to stay. We want to have peace with our neighbors, make no mistake. But we cannot engage in discussions with people who are shooting my own kids day in, day out. It's a two-step solution. First, eradicate terror, and then second, talk to our neighbors.
Tough work.